Next time you want to go out, and before you go home, you just tell your wife that planning and zoning had an item on the agenda. Just to pull it from the agenda. Keep that in your back pocket when we're out here at 7:15.
All right, we're going to get started. Councilwoman Brumell will surely be back soon, but the next item on our agenda is approval of the meeting minutes for February 5th at our legislative legislative session day, also known as 2013-03. Is there any corrections or additions to those meeting minutes? Is there a second? Well, I can second, and we can vote on it.
I'll vote yes.
No.
I don't think there were any corrections.
Here she comes.
Good. I don't want to get in trouble.
Councilwoman Bruno, we're back on track here, and there's a motion to approve the meeting minutes for February 5th. Would you second that motion, please? Okay. There's a motion and a second to approve the meeting minutes. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion carries. Okay, next item is public comment. Joe and Diane, are you okay?
No, I want to speak.
I can make it real simple. Robert, happy birthday.
Thank you. I wouldn't want to spend it anywhere else than
Yeah.
this
Hey, the best
citizens of Cecil County. Diane?
Diane Caravetta, 1611 Carpenters Point Road, Fairville, Maryland. Happy birthday also. And I did want to thank Terry Moore for bringing to my attention that it wasn't at some little Mako side meeting that she was in favor of Senate Bill 236 with amendments, but during a hearing in Annapolis, which I found rather astonishing. And one more quick thing. It's on your upcoming legislation 201303. Thank you, whoever put lines in, it makes it great. Line 57 may be included at the discretion of the Board of County Commissioners. I would simply ask that you change that to County Council. That's on line 57. Do you want my copy so you can see?
No, we've already taken that up.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
One thing on the upcoming amendment to the purchase of development rights. I just kind of, I saw it, I just read it tonight, saw it's only 3 acres. I think
3 years.
that, 3 years rather than 3 acres. I think that should be increased because it seems like 3 years is a very short time period when you're going through all that process to set that up and to get to the benefit out of it for preservation purposes. I think that should be extended beyond 3 years.
And how are they?
Okay, we will be having public hearings on those
That's
in
fine.
the future, and please bring that to our attention again. All right, we're now at the point where we're going to have public comment or comments from the Cecil County Council members. Councilman Dunn.
Thanks for coming. Thanks for sticking it out with us, folks.
Councilwoman Brumell.
Yes, there was quite a few meetings I attended the past few weeks, and one of them was down at Bayview and Westview Shores, and it was just a really good illustration of the disparity between the state and the federal government of not taking responsibility for the pollution they contribute to the bay. And so the Maryland Port Authority and the Army Corps of Engineers is wanting to reopen the Pierce Creek dredge spoil site. It's been closed for 20 years. They're no longer allowed to dump offshore. Dumping of dredge spoils is no longer allowed. So they want to place it in a community. So I'll see what we can do about that. Let's see here. Another area of concern, there's a housing first model that is being pushed here in Cecil County, and it basically allows, if not enforced properly, then there could be people on the housing assistant program that could have an addiction, still take their drugs, and keep their housing. So previously we had an agreement with the batch programs that they would be removed, but now they've made it official that the housing first model allows that to go on. I'm sorry, I'm very tired. Pleasant View Baptist Church is hosting a drug awareness event on Sunday, March 3rd, at 6 p.m. And there'll be speakers for both adults and children. I had to make a legislative bills, but I'm not going to go over that this evening. So, well, thank you for sticking around for the rest of the meeting. And a happy birthday, President Hodge.
Councilwoman Bowlesby?
I've been on vacation for 2 weeks, I'm glad to say, and I have nothing to report, except that the weather was beautiful.
Thank you. Councilman McCarthy?
I likewise attended the meetings concerning the Pierce Creek dredge site. We spoke to the people on possible solutions to their issues. I also basically was brought to my attention that the Bazel property, which was many people were quite interested for the Cecil County Public Schools, is now under contract with private developers. I appreciate you folks coming, and I'll see you another day.
I'm going to keep my remarks short because I know it's been a long meeting. We all want to go home, but thank you for hanging in there, and we'll get through the rest of our business as quickly as we can, but we want to do it diligently. There's no new business, so we'll move on to the introduction of bills. Eric Centrum and his staff will bring 2 bills to our attention regarding purchase of development rights and agricultural tax credits.
Thank you, Mr. President, members of council. The next 2 items on your agenda are bills 2013-01 and 2013-02. 2013-01 concerns the county's purchase of development rights programs for agricultural preservation districts, and 2013-02 concerns the tax credits for agricultural districts. These are two amendments to 2 sections of the Code of Cecil County. With me this evening to provide the details on what's going on, as well as the thought process behind them, is Mr. Eric Schertz from our office, who is our, amongst his many duties, is land preservation administrator for the county. And with that, I'll turn it over to him to present the tax amendments to you.
Good evening, Mr. President, council members. In the sake of time, I'll try to summarize it best I can and make things clear. I know Director Centrum spoke to you this morning in the work session, explained the 2 bills to you. We had discussions back with the commissioners last year about them as well. I know 2 of the members unfortunately wouldn't have been sitting at that point in time. So again, I'll try to address everything. Basically, what we're proposing in the purchase of development rights bill is to replace the Maryland Agricultural Land Preservation Foundation district program, which they suspended as of July 1st of 2012. Their easement program used to be 2-phase. You created a preservation district, which was more or less a ranking process. You went through, you looked at the characteristics of the farm as far as soil types, capability classes, operation, location, acreage, proximity to other protected lands, basically to make sure that the property met the guidelines that the state had established. To go through that approval process and to make up for all the time and effort on the staff parts at the county and state level, they requested that you have a mandatory 5-year minimum period that you were in a preservation district, meaning that you would not be able to develop the land. You could sell it, but you wouldn't be able to subdivide it. To go along with that district creation, the county also decided to give the landowners with approved preservation districts a 50% tax credit on the land portion of their property tax bill each year, not on improvements, just on the land. So what happens is when the Mouth District program went away, no new landowners have the ability to create a preservation district and be able to receive that property tax credit. The state will take easement applications without that district. Anyone who currently has a district and receives that 50% tax credit does not lose that right. Regardless of what the commissioner or council decides with the new bills. So any existing districts will not go away. They will continue on. Those landowners will continue to receive that 50% tax credit on the land portion of their property tax bill, but no new landowners would be able to receive that tax credit. In essence, we're just continuing something that's been in existence since 1989 that the county's participated with as far as the district program. Really, the only thing that changes is the letterhead and the approving agencies. Instead of the district creation going to the Mouth Board of Trustees for final approval, it goes before the council, and your decision would be the final approval. I know it's pretty simplified, but any questions that you have, I'll try to address.
Excuse me just a minute. I failed to read these bills into the record, so I'd like to do that now. Before we go any further, then we'll answer or ask questions, okay? So, bill number 2013-01 is a purchase of development rights agricultural preservation districts. And it is an act to repeal and reenact Chapter A385, Purchase of Development Rights. I guess it's Enacted Code 385-3, Standards of the Code of Cecil County to establish Cecil County Agricultural Preservation Districts. The other bill is 2013-02. And by the way, both these bills are introduced by the council president for the county executive, just for the record. 2013-02 is a tax credit / agricultural preservation district, an act to amend Chapter 337 Taxation, Article 2, Agricultural Tax Credit, and Enacted Code 337-4, Land Qualifying for a Credit to add Cecil County Agricultural Preservation Districts to the provision for a tax credit. Now,
Mr. President,
yes.
interject. Because these are bills for introduction tonight, the council is just to read the short title and then state when the public hearing will be, so that the staff is not necessary to say anything about the bill tonight, but they would be at the public hearing to make those comments.
right, but I think it's in our best interest to understand what these bills are. So both these bills will have public hearings scheduled for March 19th at 7 p.m. at our regular scheduled legislative meeting. So, yeah, we don't have to get into the details unless there's any questions by the council members at this time.
Just have one quick one. Why did you change the minimum from 5 to 3 years?
Based on working with landowners since 2006, that's, in trying to draw up support, that was always the sticking point. And honestly, from, I think at that point in time, was more driven that when the housing market was a little more of a boom, that developers were coming in, that they thought that it would be an idea that it was a 3-year period, we'd be able to get in, if we're not able to receive an offer, be able to get back out of the program. Honestly, the last question people ask me when dealing with programs, how long the term is, they're asking me how long do you take to actually acquire an easement. I really don't think the term of the program would affect participation.
Can I add something to that? I asked this morning, how long, or what were the average terms for other counties? And Eric provided me with a sheet here. And Garrett County does have a 3-year minimum term. Kent County, 3-year minimum term, no credit.
No tax credit.
Oh, okay, 5-year minimum term with credit in Kent County. So I guess those were the only counties that also had 3-year terms.
I have a question about the fiscal impact. Now, it's my understanding that these landowners can apply for tax credit, which will offset some of their real estate tax bill.
Correct.
So to me, that's a reduction in revenue to the county.
Yeah, it's based upon participation.
Right. So that impacts our county budget in a fiscal way.
Correct.
But the
This is why we need.
fiscal impact statement that we got said no impact.
Well, from a staff, excuse me, from a staff perspective, there will be no impact of these bills because
Right.
staff will continue doing what we have been doing all
That's right.
along.
But
So there won't be any impact. As far as the tax credit that is granted by the county, is only for the unimproved portions of the properties. I believe you were provided with a sheet giving you the fiscal year impacts going back to, what was it, to 2000, and the amounts varied between a high of 1 year of $14,960 in tax credits being granted to a low in 1 year of $9,369 in tax credits being granted.
yeah, but we don't,
So you're
have that-
correct that
we
there
don't
is-
have that information. What we have is that there'll be no additional staff time. There'll be no additional cost to administer the program.
Correct.
That's what the statement says.
Right.
But there will be the potentiality of a reduction in tax revenue.
Yes, that's
If
that's the idea behind it.
people take
Right.
advantage of it.
Right.
To me, that should be included in the fiscal impact statement. Okay. Is there any other questions of the council regarding these two bills? So we'll consider them introduced and we'll schedule them for public hearing on March 19th. Then we have on our agenda, we have an introduction of resolutions. The first one being an amendment to the Master Water and Sewage Plan, known as 04-2013. Mr. Centrum, do you want to bring that to our attention?
Certainly, Mr. President, members of the council, this next item concerns an amendment to both the text of the county's master water and sewer plan as well as the water service area map to reflect the fact that there will be water provided from artesian water line to the Gore facility to several properties on the easterly side of Maryland Route 213, whose wells have been contaminated by a plume of TCEs, trichloroethylene. That has rendered the well water undrinkable. The properties have been provided bottled water by Gore for potable needs. The extension of this water line will correct the health issue for these properties and negate the need for them to be supplied with potable water.
Okay, for the record, I want to read this into the record also. Resolution number 04-2013, introduced today, February 19, 2013. It's introduced by the council on behalf of the county executive. It's a resolution to amend the Cecil County Master and Water Sewage Plan, Chapter 3.2.11, to add language regarding artesian water of Maryland, Section B, to add service to properties on the east side of Simile Road. Is there any other questions?
Are there any 5 properties on the east side of 213 that this water's going by? I mean, I don't want to eliminate other houses from having the opportunity to hook up if they want to.
No, the main purpose is to correct the health situation
I
with
understand.
those 5 properties. There's nothing that would preclude anybody else who presently has a well that is within the Cherry Hill, the portion of the Artesian franchise area in the Cherry Hill vicinity, from requesting that their properties be served by water if they want to abandon their well.
We have to change the master water and sewer plan to do that again?
If they are not being served now, they would not be reflected as a W1, so at a minimum, we would need to change the water service area map to show them changing from either W2 or W3 to a W1, as the case may be.
Because I think there are some interested people from, I think I got an email
I
today.
don't think the bill says 5
It
properties.
does.
It does?
Yes, it
Yeah,
does.
we're identifying
They
properties
limited
that
just to
are,
5 homes.
being, the service is being extended to.
There's an expense that goes along with hooking up to the house, so, I know that that's being followed through on for the, and that's their focus. I think that's what this amendment is all about. Eric, could you tell me, is Artesian paying for the hookups to these 5 houses?
That I don't,
I mean,
I'm not privy to that, yeah, I'm not sure what their arrangement is with the property owners.
I have the bill in front of me. I don't see where it specifies 5 houses.
It says, in addition to serving the WL4, the water main shall provide service to properties on the east side of Singerly Road whose owners are provided with bottled water due to elevated TCE levels in their wells. And that was 5 houses and it happened.
No. The 5 houses is not limited to 5 houses in the bill. The bill doesn't say 5 houses. It says to those properties.
Whose owners were
Right.
affected by
So if-
TCEs, but
if-
that was 5 houses.
Right, but if the plume under the ground expands to additional properties, are we covered, Eric, or not?
Probably.
Uh,
This happened in 1983 or 85, and I don't think anybody's been affected
Right.
since because they stopped using TCE because of that.
I'd rather not come back next week to add one more house to the bill if there's a bigger problem than people think.
The only thing that would, the way, the language would not, the proposed language to add to section 3.211 would not have to change. However, the map, the water service area map would have to change to reflect the fact that whoever else is being extended to is now a W1. But then we can't do that until the actual service is provided to that property.
Is there any other questions at this time on the amendment to the master water sewage plan? Okay, we'll move on to the next resolution, 07-2013, appointments, Public Library Board of Trustees. And let me just give a little bit more information so we can consider it read into the record. This is also introduced by the council president on behalf of the county executive, a resolution to confirm the appointments from the county executive to the Cecil County Public Library Board of Trustees. Does anyone have any comments on this? I guess there will be not a public hearing, but it's scheduled for tentative consideration on March 5th.
Mr. President, the county executive is recommending that the council confirm the Board of Trustees, Board of Library Trustees' recommendations for appointment and reappointment of Catherine McCormick and Stephen Norton, both for 5-year terms.
Questions or comments from the council? Okay, we're going to move on to the last resolution for introduction tonight, was Resolution 08-2013, appointments, Mental Health Core Service Agency Advisory Board. Mr. Wine, you want to explain that one?
Yes, again, Mr. President, the county executive is recommending that the council confirm the appointments to the Cecil County Mental Health Core Service Agency Advisory Board, all for 3-year terms. the following individuals: Jean Marie Donahue, Cameron England, Abe Childry, Sean Cannon, Randy Bradford, and Patricia Dana.
Okay, this is also for our consideration and adoption on March 5th.
That's correct.
Questions, comments from the council? Okay, we'll move on to consideration of resolutions. These resolutions were all previously introduced at our, we'll just do one at a time. The first one is Resolution 01-2013. This is an amendment to the Master Water Sewage Plan regarding the Conowingo Mobile Home Park. It was introduced on January 15th of 2013. There was a public hearing on February 5th of 2013. And I guess I'd like to hear a motion regarding this matter.
I move that we accept it.
Is there a second?
That'd be
I'll
Resolution
second.
2013-02.
There's been a motion and a second to approve the amendment to the Conowingo, or the Master Water and Sewage Plan regarding Conowingo Mobile Home Park. Any discussion? No discussion, so therefore we'll have a vote. All those in favor of the amendment, please signal by saying aye. Aye. Is there any opposed?
I was just told, Mr. Massey, this to be done by roll call.
Okay, Mr. Massey, would you call the roll?
Dr. McCarthy,
Aye.
Ms. Bowlesby,
Aye.
Mr. Dunn,
Aye.
Ms. Brummel,
Aye.
President Hodge.
Aye. The roll call vote indicates a unanimous decision to approve the resolution. The second resolution is 03-2013, a letter of support for the River Woods Housing Project in Northeast. It was introduced on February 5th, 2013. I have a motion regarding this matter.
I'll move for approval of this, Resolution 03-2013.
There's a motion to approve the resolution. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
There's a motion and a second to approve the resolution 03-2013. Is there any discussion?
I'm going to be voting against this. I had received feedback from constituents and spoken with Dave Mahaney on this, that we have had a lot of these projects coming to the county, and I think there's a surplus of available housing. And I think that it's actually coming in competition with our local citizens that have rental properties. So I know that there's enough votes to pass this evening, but I hope that the rest of the council will start considering that how much is enough of these.
Mr. President, I had the opportunity to talk with Dave Mahaney today about this, and he indicated that this is a particularly good project because the spreads are between 30, 40, 50, and 60% of median income, unlike Glen Creek or on Muddy Lane and several others that are really heavily weighted at 60% of median income. He did say that, I think it is Glen Creek that's only at 84% capacity, but they do not, this particular River Woods fills the need, and he was very supportive of it.
And I'll add to that he is very, speaks very highly of Osprey Development Group as well.
I will be voting for this measure. I realize that the county commissioners previously supported this project and made a commitment to the developer to support it. And here we are later, and I don't think that it's time for us to pull our commitment that we made at a previous time. I will be looking at all future projects a lot harder than we have in the past. The point of saturation may be upon us, but Mr. Mahaney assured me that there is a need in the northeast area and does not feel that the market is saturated to the point where we should not support this project. So I will be voting in favor of this. Is there any other comments or discussion by any other member? Okay, we have a motion to approve, let me get it right, Resolution 03-2013 in support of the River Woods Housing Project in the Northeast. All those need a roll call, don't we? Okay, I'm sorry, would the council manager please call the roll call?
Dr. McCarthy,
Aye.
Ms. Ballsby,
Aye.
Mr. Dunn,
Aye.
Ms. Bromell,
Nay.
President Hodge.
Aye. Okay, the motion passes 4-1 in support of the River Woods Housing Project. Next resolution is appointments to the Animal Care and Control Oversight Committee that was introduced on February 5th, also known as Resolution 05-2013. This is to confirm appointments to the Animal Care and Control Oversight Commission by the county executive. Is there a motion regarding this resolution?
Make a motion to approve.
There's a motion to approve the resolution. Is there a second? There's a motion and a second to approve Resolution 05-2013, confirming the appointments of the Animal Care and Control Oversight Commission. Is there any discussion?
So I have some comments I'd like to make. I was not exactly pleased with the way the new animal control ordinance came into being, but I will accept that it is. However, in view of this oversight committee, I think it should be based on fairness, honesty, and be totally nonpartisan. I received a number of emails from people in my district that had their comments. I did pay attention to them, and I have a number of questions I would like to ask to Councilwoman Brumell, whose appointment is Ricky, his last name, Ricky Lewis. Were you aware that Ricky Lewis had these citations or 2 violations against him when you nominated him?
Actually, I went ahead and called Mr. Hawkins after I received Ms. Swartzler's phone message. And he assured me when he went out there that he was very impressed with how orderly the farm was with the cats, and the dog was from a rescue. He hadn't had a chance to get the license. And there was an email that we received from County Executive Moore that she had spoken with Ricky Lewis and was satisfied with what she had learned.
So the mail that I got was just this morning. I mean, so you're saying that was not correct?
No.
That was not correct?
What?
Wasn't this short sort of published?
Right. Well, are you saying that he should be
No,
taken off the list?
No, I asked you a question. The question was, were you aware that he had 2 violations at the time that you nominated him to be on the Animal Oversight Committee?
You know, I failed to ask him, do you have any violations?
I'm
And
just
you know
asking
what,
you a
I
question.
wouldn't have taken away my nomination anyway. He's done a lot for the county and cat rescues.
Okay.
And in the interim, he helped to meet the needs that we had out of his own pocket. So there's a lot that he contributed, and I failed to see how these 2 violations of not getting a license for his dog and the rabies vaccine, which he took care of right away.
All right, is there any other discussion?
I'm not done. Did you discuss the nomination of Mr. Lewis with any of the staff of the Buddies for Life or anyone else?
No, I did not.
Okay, that's a good answer. Do you think that Mr. Lewis could serve impartially, having already been issued a citation by the animal control officer, Mr. Hawkins?
Yes, me and County Executive Moore do feel that he can serve impartially.
Well, thank you very much.
Is there any other further discussion on this motion? Council Manager Massey, would you call the roll?
Dr. McCarthy,
Nay.
Ms. Bowlesby,
Yes. Aye.
Mr. Dunn,
Aye.
Ms. Brumel,
Aye.
President Hodge.
Aye. The motion carries 4-1. Resolution 05-2013 is approved. The resolution is approved, approving the appointments to the Animal Care and Control Commission. The next item on our agenda is Resolution 06-2013 regarding a consent order with the Maryland Department of Environment. It was introduced on February 5th of 2013. We've all been aware of it, and may I have a motion for this resolution?
I move that we accept the resolution. This would be
That's it.
Resolution 06.
Can you say approve the resolution? There's been a motion to approve Resolution 06-20-13. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
There's been a motion and a second to approve Resolution 06-2013. Is there any discussion? Hearing?
Can I say something?
Yes.
Thank you. I was trying to find it, but I understand the reason for the consent order. I don't agree. The amount of the offset that we're getting on the fine, I believe it was 20,000, is that correct?
15.
15,000?
No. The 15 is the fine, the offset is 20.
Okay, 20,000. In return for doing a project that costs us how much? Is it Secretary or Director Flanagan? How much was the project for Mill Lane?
Approximately 123,000.
Yeah, I think that's a bit ridiculous, and would have loved to have seen that money invested in a more productive way on Mill Lane. I am reassured to hear, though, that the right of prescription maintenance or the right of way is not being turned back over to the, we still have the option to go back, I believe, to work on Mill Lane if a future board or county executive, I'm not sure at this point, if we wanted to revisit that. So I just.
Is there any other discussion regarding this motion? I'd just like to say, I've been a county commissioner before I was a councilman. This project had been on the capital improvement project list for a while. It was probably going to be done anyway, regardless of the consent order. I think that there's some other benefits other than the $20,000 offset, but including but not limited to, I hope that we take full credit for our WIP plan for this type of project, and other benefits hopefully will be derived from this expenditure that we probably would have spent anyway. So we're kind of getting a little bit of a discount. So I'll be voting in favor of the resolution. So we have a motion and a second to approve Resolution 06-2013 regarding the consent order with the Maryland Department of Environment. County Manager Massey, would you please call the roll on this?
Dr. McCarthy,
Aye.
Ms. Bowlesby,
Aye.
Mr. Dunn,
Aye.
Ms. Brumel,
Aye.
President Hodge.
Aye. The motion carries unanimously. The resolution is approved 06-2013. That concludes our business, and may I have a motion for adjournment? a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Short of a mirror.